Hey Plant Fam, I'm Daddy Plant, and I fix brown leaves, not broken hearts. Today we are talking about one of the toughest, most forgiving, and most popular houseplants on the planet, the snake plant. You might know it as Sansevieria, mother-in-law's tongue, or its new botanical name, Dracaena trifasciata. Whatever you call it, this plant is a legend. It survives where other plants give up. It handles low light, irregular watering, and neglect that would kill a cactus. That's why you see snake plants everywhere: offices, malls, hotel lobbies, and of course, living rooms. But here's the thing: just because it survives anything doesn't mean it can't thrive. With a little bit of knowledge, you can turn your snake plant from a surviving plant into a thriving, growing, even blooming plant. Yes, snake plants can flower. We'll get to that. In this video, we're covering everything: light, water, soil, pots, fertilizer, propagation, common problems, and the one mistake that actually can kill this unkillable plant. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about why the snake plant is so tough. It's native to West Africa, from Nigeria to the Congo. It grows in dry, rocky soils under the shade of trees. It's adapted to long periods of drought followed by heavy rain. That's why it stores water in its thick, succulent leaves. And that's why it's so forgiving when you forget to water it. But here's what most people don't know. Snake plants are also incredible air purifiers. The NASA Clean Air Study found that Sansevieria removes toxins like formaldehyde, benzene, and trichloroethylene from indoor air. Even more interesting, snake plants are one of the few plants that convert carbon dioxide to oxygen at night. That makes them perfect for bedrooms. So you're not just decorating, you're breathing cleaner air while you sleep. Let's start with light. Snake plants are famous for surviving in low light, and that's true. They will sit in a dark corner and not die. But let me be honest with you. If you want your snake plant to actually grow, to look vibrant, to maybe even flower, it needs more light. The ideal light for a snake plant is bright, indirect light. An east-facing window is perfect. A few feet away from a south or west window also works great. In bright light, the leaves will be stiffer, the colors more vibrant, and the yellow edges on variegated varieties will really pop. But here's the cool part. Snake plants can also handle direct sun, especially morning sun. An hour or two of direct sun won't hurt them. In fact, in some climates, they grow happily in full sun outdoors. So don't be afraid to give your snake plant good light. The only light condition that doesn't work is complete darkness. No plant can live without any light. So if you put your snake plant in a windowless bathroom, it will eventually decline. It might take months, even a year, but it will happen. So give it some light. Now let's talk about watering, because this is where people kill their snake plants. Remember, this plant is a succulent. It stores water in its leaves. It does not want to sit in wet soil. Overwatering is the #1 killer of snake plants. Here's my simple rule. Water your snake plant only when the soil is completely dry, all the way down to the bottom of the pot. How do you check? Stick your finger into the soil. If you feel any moisture at all, wait. Or use a moisture meter. Or just lift the pot. Dry soil is much lighter. In most homes, that means watering every 2 to 4 weeks in spring and summer, and every 4 to 8 weeks in fall and winter. Let me repeat that. In winter, you might water your snake plant once a month, or even less. When you do water, water thoroughly. Pour until water runs out of the drainage holes. Then, dump out any water in the saucer. Never let your snake plant sit in standing water. And here's a pro tip. If you're not sure whether to water, don't water. A snake plant can go months without water and survive. One extra watering can cause root rot, so when in doubt, wait. Let's talk about soil and pots. Because snake plants hate wet feet, you need well-draining soil. Regular potting mix is too heavy and holds too much water. Here's my recipe. Take 2 parts standard indoor potting mix and add 1 part perlite or pumice. You can also add some coarse sand or orchid bark. The goal is a chunky, airy mix that lets water flow through quickly. You can also buy cactus and succulent mix. That works perfectly. Now let's talk about pots. Drainage holes are absolutely necessary, no exceptions. Snake plants will rot in a pot without drainage. Terracotta pots are excellent because they pull moisture out of the soil. Plastic pots work too, but you need to be even more careful with watering. Choose a pot that's just slightly larger than the root ball. Snake plants like to be root-bound. They actually grow better when their roots are crowded. So don't repot too often, and don't go too big. When you do repot, only go up one size. A pot that's too large means too much soil that stays wet too long, and that leads to root rot. Let's talk about humidity and temperature. Snake plants are not picky about humidity. They're happy in average home humidity, from 30 to 50%. They don't need misting, they don't need pebble trays. Just normal indoor air is fine. Dry winter air? No problem. Message plants are incredibly adaptable. Temperature is also easy. They like temperatures between 60 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. They can handle down to 50 degrees, but not for long. Frost will kill them. So if you put your snake plant outside in summer, bring it back inside before nighttime temperatures drop below 55 degrees. Also, keep it away from cold drafts and air conditioning vents. Now, let's talk about fertilizer. Snake plants are light feeders. They don't need much food. In fact, too much fertilizer can cause the leaves to become floppy and weak. During spring and summer, feed your snake plant once every 2 to 3 months with a balanced liquid houseplant fertilizer diluted to half strength. A cactus fertilizer also works well. Do not fertilize in fall and winter. The plant is resting. If you've never fertilized your snake plant and it's been years, don't worry, it's fine. These plants are incredibly efficient and can get by with almost nothing. Just repot it in fresh soil every few years, and that will give it enough nutrients. Let's talk about growth and size. Snake plants are slow growers, especially in low light. But in good light, they can grow quite fast. There are many different varieties. The most common is Sansevieria trifasciata Laurenti, the one with dark green leaves and yellow edges. There's Zeylanica with wavy green patterns. There's Hani, the bird's nest snake plant, which stays small and compact. And there's Cylindrica with round, spear-like leaves. Some snake plants can grow 4 to 5 feet tall indoors. Outdoors in warm climates, they can push 6 feet. If your snake plant gets too tall for your space, you can cut the leaves. Just use clean scissors and cut at whatever height you want. The cut tip will callus over and be fine. It won't grow new leaves from the cut, but the plant will continue growing from the center. Now let's talk about something exciting. Snake plants can flower. It's not common indoors, but it happens. The flowers are small, white, or cream-colored, and very fragrant. They smell like jasmine or vanilla. They usually appear on older plants that are slightly root-bound and getting good light. The flower stalk grows from the center of the plant and can be 2 to 3 feet tall. After the flowers fade, you might get small orange or red berries. Flowering doesn't harm the plant. Enjoy it. It's a sign that your snake plant is very happy. Let's talk about propagation. This is one of the easiest plants to propagate. You have 3 options. First, division. When you repot, simply cut through the root ball with a clean knife and separate the plant into sections, each with leaves and roots. Pot them up separately. This is the fastest method, and it keeps the variegation. Second, leaf cuttings in water. Cut a healthy leaf into 3 or 4 inch sections. Let the cut ends dry for a day or 2 to callus over. Then, place the bottom end of each section in water. Change the water weekly. In a few weeks to a couple months, roots will form, and eventually tiny new leaves will emerge from the base. Plant them in soil when the roots are a couple inches long. Third, leaf cuttings in soil. Same as above, but plant the cut sections directly into moist potting mix, about an inch deep. Keep the soil lightly moist but not wet. In a few months, you'll have new plants. One important warning: if you propagate from a variegated snake plant, one with yellow edges, the new plants will not have the yellow edges. They will revert to all green. To keep the yellow variegation, you must propagate by division, not by leaf cuttings. Now let's talk about common problems. Good news, there aren't many, but let's go through them. Problem 1, yellow or mushy leaves. This is almost always overwatering. Take the plant out of the pot and check the roots. If the roots are brown and mushy, cut away the rotten parts. Repot in fresh, dry soil and water much less going forward. If the rot is severe, take healthy leaf cuttings and start over. Problem 2, wrinkled or curling leaves. This means the plant is dehydrated. It either hasn't been watered enough or the roots are damaged so they can't take up water. If the soil is bone dry, water thoroughly. If the soil is wet but the plant still looks wrinkled, you probably have root rot. Problem 3, brown, crispy leaf tips. This is usually from too much fertilizer or fluoride and chlorine in tap water. Switch to filtered water and cut back on fertilizer. Problem 4, leaves falling over or flopping. This can happen when the plant gets too tall and top-heavy. Stake the leaves upright or move the plant to brighter light. Stronger light produces stronger, stiffer leaves. Problem 5, pests. Snake plants are generally pest-resistant, but they can get mealybugs, spider mites, or thrips. Mealybugs look like white cotton in the leaf crevices. Spider mites leave tiny webs. Wipe the leaves with rubbing alcohol on a cotton swab or use neem oil. Isolate the plant for a few weeks. Problem 6, slow or no growth. This is usually a light issue. Move your plant to a brighter spot. Also check that it's not root-bound to the point where there's no soil left. Let me give you a few quick answers to common questions. Is the snake plant toxic to pets? Yes. Snake plants contain saponins, which are toxic to cats and dogs. If ingested, they can cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Keep this plant out of reach of pets. Can I put my snake plant outside in summer? Yes. Morning sun and afternoon shade is perfect. Bring it back inside before temperatures drop below 55 degrees. Why are my leaves splitting? Low humidity or physical damage. Snake plant leaves are brittle and can split if bumped. Why is my plant not growing? Give it more light and be patient. Snake plants are slow growers. How often should I repot? Every 2 to 5 years, or when the pot is completely full of roots. Should I clean the leaves? Yes, dust blocks light. Wipe the leaves with a damp cloth once every few months. Let's wrap everything up. The snake plant is one of the most forgiving and rewarding houseplants you can own. It survives almost anything, cleans your air, and asks for very little in return. Give it bright, indirect light for the best growth, but it will survive in low light. Water only when the soil is completely dry, every 2 to 8 weeks depending on the season. Use well-draining soil with plenty of perlite, and always use a pot with drainage holes. Average humidity is fine. Fertilize lightly once every 2 to 3 months in spring and summer. Propagate by division or leaf cuttings. Watch for overwatering. It's the only thing that will reliably kill this plant. Here's the most important thing to remember. The snake plant rewards neglect. Don't love it too much. Don't hover. Water it less than you think you need to. When in doubt, don't water. Your snake plant will thank you by living for decades. I've seen snake plants passed down through generations, 50, 60 years old. Treat it right, and it will outlive your sofa, your car, maybe even you. If you have a snake plant at home, let me know in the comments. What variety do you have? How tall is it? Post a picture. I'd love to see it. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We put out new plant care videos every week. No plant shaming, just real tips for real plant parents. Thanks for watching. Take care of your plants, and they'll take care of you. See you in the next video.